Okay, Kyren Wilson next on Q-Tips Pick Your Side. Shaun the Magician Murphy, Luca Brecel, Ding Junhui. So what it is, we're going to pick a card and you've got a chalk, so we either strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. Ronnie O'Sullivan's fastest 147 is the best achievement ever in snooker. I'm going to put it out there. I think it's the best achievement in sport.
Yeah, let's go there. I'll agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, I did one in the shootout, which was under different conditions.
Yeah.
Against the clock.
Yeah. Well, there's a little thing on social media which was the best one. It has one of your one.
Yeah. I mean,
nice to be in this. Nice to be in the conversation.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, but I don't think. I mean, doing it here, I've never made one here.
Right.
Which is still a dream for me. That's still a goal of mine in my career. So to do one out here, full stop in the Crucible. How many? 3.
1 against you.
3-1 against me, yeah. No, I remember, yeah. You played more plants in that shot than Titchmarsh. I was watching ground force for a minute.
Willie Thorne used to call me Butch Cassidy, the 2-plant kid. That's what you were Willie Thorne. Every time I went to the pack, I used to find a plant somewhere to keep the break going. Oh, it's tremendous.
Unbelievable. No, I actually would agree with you. I can just similarly move that just back there for a moment. I actually think not only is it the best sporting achievement in snooker, it's possibly the best achievement in sport.
I think so.
Ever.
I think it's just
at the World Championships, where it matters most.
Yeah.
And it's been retimed, it's been corrected to 5 minutes, 8 seconds.
I mean, Selby's played a shot longer than that.
Ridiculous.
Players should do punditry whilst competing in a tournament.
Oh, this is tough, isn't it? Because I've done a little bit of it. I'm going to go disagree.
Okay. But
Not
you do
quite,
it. Oh no,
yeah.
you do it when you're finished, don't you?
When I've finished, but
Right.
I've had the option to do it whilst I'm playing.
Yeah.
But, you know, you see people like Ronnie, he's had good success with it. My thing is, what would you be doing in your downtime?
Right.
Would you be using it to kind of your advantage doing the punditry? Because you're there, you're amongst it, you're seeing it.
Well, I think that's Shaun's view, isn't it?
Yeah.
My view, especially for this one, is if you're going to go the whole way, I think your downtime is so important.
Exactly.
To get completely away from it and completely chill out.
That's why I would go disagree. But I'm like, I'm edging.
Okay. Do you enjoy the punditry?
I do,
Yeah.
but again, I don't want to be amongst it whilst I'm still in.
Yeah.
I'd rather know that I've got my practice time done, my downtime done, so yeah.
Okay.
Having a snooker brain is vital to becoming great.
Strongly,
Yeah, 100%.
Strongly agree. Can you recognise it in other players? You don't have to name names or anything, but can you recognise in other players you think, well, that's not the right shot. I wouldn't have played it that way.
100%. Yeah, immediately.
Right. Okay.
Immediately.
Because you've been so natural since you're young, so you obviously see everything.
Yeah, I think my snooker brain is probably one of the best on tour.
Right. Okay.
It's a funny statement, but I'm
It's a
actually
good statement.
quite sure
It's
of
a
that.
good statement.
Yeah.
How would you describe as a snooker brain? What would you describe that as?
Just feeling the right shot, you know?
Right, yeah.
Sometimes a shot in one situation can be wrong, and then a different one could be the right one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you just need to feel like where your opponent is at the moment.
Yeah.
How is he feeling? Stuff like that. You have to all take that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
So that's, for me, that's a snooker brain.
So you would decide like when's the right, because obviously you won the World Championship last year by pretty much all out attack.
Yeah.
This season, like when I've watched you, been
But that's also a tactic.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Because I mean, I thought before the final that you were out of the 2 semi-finalists, you were the only one that could beat Mark Selby because of the way you were playing.
Yeah.
Because you can't play Mark at his own game.
No.
You have to attack him.
Yeah.
But this season, you've played, whether it's because I don't know how you feel, but you turned down a few pots.
That's just confidence.
Yeah, just you didn't feel
yeah.
it.
Because if I'm confident, I just know I'm not going to miss those long balls.
Yeah.
But this season has been, I don't know what it is, maybe just thinking a bit too much.
Yeah. The World Championship should move away from the Crucible. Big question.
That's a big question for a long time.
Yeah. China?
Yeah. I think
I'm going to disagree. I'm older. I'm going to disagree. I just love the Crucible. I love the atmosphere. I think when you walk down, especially one table, the final, you've been there.
Yeah.
When you walk, the atmosphere is just like nowhere else. But I understand that the players now feel maybe more prize money somewhere else. Is that how you feel?
the history is here, and I know it's like in Crucible, and you win 7 times here. So but I think for the new market or new, this new generations come up. They love to walk at Crucible to walk to see around and maybe see the match here. More chance to development to move somewhere, Asia or other countries. Yeah. So
would you like to see a World Championship in China?
absolutely.
Yeah.
each own country's players, they love to win that World Championship in their own country.
More pressure on you though. The World Championships in China.
I never feel that. I
really?
rather feel it.
Yeah, I think you feel it then. Snooker should be taught in school PE lessons.
I'm going to go there. Which is kind of between. I agree. And I also, I'm in there.
I'm
Why not?
agree. I mean, it is in China, isn't it?
It is in China, and we talk about the Chinese takeover of snooker.
Yeah.
A quarter of the tour are Chinese now. People forget this, and it's a widely forgotten point about snooker. We don't receive a single penny, not a dime, from any government body to help us fund and get snooker into schools, clubs, memberships, activity. Not a penny.
Yeah.
Everything you see about snooker comes from WST. If we had some help from the government, things would be different.
I do agree that all the young people always ask me, like, where's the next, a Sullivan, Murphy, Higgins, where are they coming from? Where's the young players? And I've yet to see them, and it could be just that there's nowhere for them to play, really. I mean, you're hard pressed to find a snooker club these days. You don't have to have it in every school, but why not have it where you could go to a school or somewhere where you could learn or get to play at least.
Absolutely. As I say, it's something we rolled out with WPBSA many years ago in China. Every city we go to, we drop into their schools, we leave tables this size, some bigger, some smaller, and we interact and we get the kids excited, enthusiastic about snooker. And some of them have even progressed to the tour. Right. Some of those stories have come from those cities that we visited years ago.
Yeah.
Some of those kids have made it as professionals. They've got to Q school. They've lived that dream.
Yeah.
The kids in the UK don't have that opportunity because the government look at us like we're the ugly relative. They won't spend a single penny with us, which is a disgrace, really. I mean, why aren't we in the Olympics? We should be. People don't know this either, but snooker and Q Sports was a founding member of the Paralympics.
Really?
Why aren't we still in it? The government have completely abandoned us.
Crowd should be allowed to make more noise in matches.
Ooh, I'm going to go disagree. It depends what they mean by noise. I mean, is it noise while you're actually playing like darts, when you're actually queuing up, then I would completely disagree. I would strongly disagree.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go disagree.
Obviously, the difference between playing here, I've talked to people who've been to watch snooker at the Masters and been to watch snooker here, and it's two completely different venues.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the Masters you love it, right? The atmosphere is incredible, but you wouldn't want them in any noisier than they are, would you?
No, I think, like you say, the Masters is more like a showpiece kind of spectacle.
Right.
And I think the Crucible is so intense and everyone's so close.
Yeah.
I mentioned in an interview before, my first experience here, I was watching Peter Ebdon sorted me tickets to play Michael Holt.
Okay.
And me and my dad were sat in the crowd and our tummies were rumbling. And I thought the players could hear us down there. That's how intense it is.
Yeah.
So, I'd go disagree, but then I feel like modern day sport is moving so quickly. So do you go with the times or do you stick with the traditional?
How do you cope playing in a shootout? Because that is the one that is noisy all the time.
Did you see my game against Junhui?
No, I didn't know.
I had a blue ball shootout at the end, and every time I got down for the blue ball, I kept giving it large to the crowd to play, and I crunched it. Right. It's just deadpan face, got down, bang. I felt like I was dying a slow death. But no, I'd go slightly disagree.
Okay. Making the first 167 would be a better achievement than making 5 147s. Right, more money.
It's not important.
Yeah, I'm going to strongly disagree.
Obviously, 147s.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay,
but I think it would be really incredible to do it. As the first player to do it in front of the Saudi crowd.
Right.
That would be amazing.
Your chalk was somewhere in the middle then.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
It's difficult. But obviously the 147s, much more difficult.
Yeah. So what was the sort of talk amongst the guys in Saudi about the golden ball? Did you discuss it much, or?
Everyone was talking about it, funnily enough. But I was like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's achievable, but
Well, Higgins got close, didn't he? But
the problem
but Higgins said the ball was like a different sort of texture.
Yeah, the texture was a bit different.
Okay.
But I tried to play it a couple of times on the cushion, and you couldn't actually miss it.
Oh,
if
really?
you were on it, like if you were here, you couldn't even miss it.
Really?
Because it hugs the cushion.
Oh, okay.
So
that's interesting.
But I think the problem is we're not used to that kind of pressure, you know?
One
ball for 500,000. I mean, we've never had that.
And next year one for $1 million.
Yeah, we never had that kind of pressure. So how are you going to make it? It's possible, obviously.
Yeah. So you're in the middle.
Difficult.
I mean, 5 147s would be incredible, but the 167 for $1 million, fabulous. Snooker players can be overcoached. Too much coaching. I'm going to say
Overcoached.
Too much. Players can have too much coaching.
I think
Yeah. What's your opinion on coaching? Have you had much? I can't remember ever seeing you with many coaches.
I don't have many coaches. I think the players should be learn themselves what they need to do in practice routine, what you do with your techniques, things, what you do with your thinking head, what you do, like Selby doing like tactical things.
Yeah.
You need to learn everything about that. The one thing you don't learn when you play on in there.
Yeah.
You got to lose yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to, the situations always become new things.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get ready, you got experience everything, and you learn each part of.
Right.
So you got more ready for the things coming. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's too much coaching is sort of, it can hinder your natural talent, obviously, and also when you're out there, I think coaching, it's about you, right? It's about inside.
Yeah.
It's about up here. It's about how you can handle the pressure. Some coaching I think is okay, but I know too much coaching. I had too much coaching, I think, and it affected me. So would you say that a lot of the Chinese players now look overcoached? Very technical the way they play.
I think there's too much concentration on their technique.
Right, okay.
Cue actions, everything.
Yes.
They don't think about to improve the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about just practice. It may be, I watch a lot of snooker games.
Yeah.
Even qualify, I still watch it.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so I look at the players, they think each single persons, they think different.
Right, okay.
So the same shots, they have 10 players they think different than maybe.
Really? Okay.
This is just like you got to learn every player what they think. You got 10 choices to make that decisions.
Right. You would never be a coach? No, I don't think I could be a coach.
I like to learn myself.
Kyren Wilson is the best rest player in the world. Oh! Let me see where I'm going to put my chalk. I think I'm going to put it there.
I'm not going to strongly disagree, but I am going to disagree. And as much as it pains me to say this when you're sitting opposite me, I do think you're the best rest. It's not by miles. You're probably going to strongly disagree. I think
no, but as you know about me, I only have strong opinions.
Yeah, always get rid of these.
These two things might as well.
Is this too vanilla for you?
Yeah, it's
in the
too
middle,
beige for me. He wants to agree or disagree. I want to strongly agree or strongly disagree.
I think we talk about, obviously the big thing is you and Kyren. There's other great players. I mean, Williams is great with the rest. Ronnie's great with the rest.
Ronnie's great with the rest.
Ronnie's great. But the thing I like about you play with the same cue action with the rest as you do with your hand. And I think that to me is the sign of a proper rest player.
Yeah, I can't speak for the other players. I had a good grounding with the rest. I was so small when I first started playing, as we all were, I guess, that I had to use the rest a lot.
Yeah.
I had a good grounding with my technique. I think I'm quite unique in terms of I have my elbow quite high.
Yeah.
That locks it out, means I can't get much lateral movement. That's good. So there's some good technique in there. And I think you just have some people they take to it, don't they? Some golfers are just good out of traps.
Yeah,
some aren't. Some never get it.
Yeah.
I always thought the rest, you're going to you see players, they play the wrong shot to avoid having to use the rest.
Right.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be able to play every shot.
What with a long rest?
Still learning.
How's your long rest play?
Well, long rest plays average. Where's the average section?
Right. Excellent. Shaun Murphy is the best rest player in the world. Funny enough, he was asked a similar question, and I know you're sat opposite me, but I can't explain to him and then say a different thing to you, because that wouldn't be honest.
Fair play.
And the reason I gave to him is that his cue action to me is identical with the rest as when he's got his bridge hand, and I think yours is slightly different.
Yeah, I would actually say I would say mine's totally different.
Because yours more like it goes like that, doesn't it?
I'm actually I'm almost like the Ronnie O'Sullivan rest action, like the really fluent get going and buff straight through it. In my opinion, I can work the cue ball better than him with the rest.
Right.
I feel like if we had a screw back competition,
right, okay.
I put a red level with a pink spot,
right,
and I can screw in and out of bulk.
Really?
From white on the blue, red there.
If I had that, the cue ball's coming off the table if I attempted that.
I'd like to see if he can do that.
Right, okay.
But I would say he's more accurate.
There's a Q-tip short, and
I would say he's more accurate on his potting.
Right, okay.
Snooker players practice too much.
Whoa, I think I know where you're going to.
This is agree.
Yeah, probably I do agree. I'm not just followed you. In my day, it was sort of drummed into you that you had to practice 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. And if you didn't do that, you wouldn't win. Consequently, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of success from working hard, but you kind of, if say you do only 5 hours instead of 6, you feel guilty.
Yeah.
And you've got that.
But
that
did you ever try to do less in your prime time?
Sometimes I wouldn't prepare. Usually my manager didn't know. I'd be knocking off early, and I didn't, and I still won the tournament.
Of course.
So I think it's about the quality of practice. I think more important than the quantity.
100%.
Yeah.
It's all about the quality.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, you won this last year without practicing, right?
Yeah. But obviously, when the tournament got on, obviously I got my practice from the games.
Right.
But the first game against Ricky, I was so rusty.
Yeah.
So I just needed a couple of frames, and then I got confidence, and then obviously after that I got all my practice in the tournament.
The 147 prize money should be higher.
Yeah. So this one I put it here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. So I think it's because the 147 is like the biggest occasion you can have in snooker. So I believe it should be a huge prize, right? You agree?
Yes, I think there's not many 147 to make it. It's like few happen in one season. That's quite difficult. We're looking back at the history. It's only like, I don't know, 100, just over 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so difficult to have 147. That's all. I have a big bonus for that.
Yeah, because you played in Saudi Arabia where they had the golden ball and you had like $500,000, right, for the win. So do you think it should be something like that in every, and maybe not every tournament, maybe the World Championship?
The normal tournament it should be higher.
Right.
Maybe up to 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So World Championship absolutely like I like to use to you have it like last
147.
time. 147.
Yeah.
And if you make twice, you got doubles or make 3 or 4 times. I mean, impossible, but it's possible. So you got big chances to have it.
It means if you take a risk in the frame for a tricky pot, it's worth the risk, right?
Yeah, I know. This sometimes you just lower price in the normal tournament. Like example in qualifiers.
Yeah.
You don't know how much you get. It's just winning first, but no, take risks.
How many have you made now in competition?
7.
7. Yeah. So okay, you're getting close to me.
Cue ball control is the most vital part of a player's game. Yeah. I've had to learn the hard way, I think.
I mean, you've had people like me criticizing you for and it's improved obviously, but the amount of centuries you make now, you can't do that if you haven't got good cue ball control.
Absolutely.
But in the beginning, is it fair to say your cue ball was a
100%,
bit like,
and I know exactly why. My bridge was too long, and I feel like I had too short of a backswing. I couldn't get my feel and the timing through the shot. So I've brought my hand in. I kind of go through the ball more, and I get more of a feeling through the shot. And my centuries have gone through the roof now. I've had probably one of the most poorest seasons I've had this year. I'm still second on the century count with like over 60 centuries.
Right.
So it's definitely something that I've worked on and improved.
And it's not only making breaks, so it's under pressure being able to control that cue ball, isn't it? When it really matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you've got to make a 60 clearance or something, you can't do it after your cue balls all over the place, can
you? And you look at obviously like yourself and like Ronnie, John, they're sort of the highest scoring break builders of all time, and they're kind of some of the best pressure clearances, aren't they? Some of the clearances they've made. So I'd strongly agree.
Yeah,
with that.
and I was going to say, and these cloths as well, because when I played qualifiers, it catches me out. I mean, my cue ball control now, I'd love for you to commentate on my cue ball control now, because you could absolutely ruin me.
Yeah.
Even 100 break players now to go out there and play on them cloths.
And the thing is, the kind of the deflection with side as well. You play any shot with side spin, it just throws off a mile on a brand new cloth. And until you've played on that, you can't describe that to people.
No, absolutely. I mean, the chalk should be over there really for that one, but Snooker is the hardest sport in the world. Hey, can we go over there somewhere? I mean, people talk about golf. If you get someone who can't play golf, eventually they'll be able to hit the ball. And hit the ball again. And hit it pretty straight.
That's how we got into it.
Well, exactly. Snooker, you got to pot a ball and the cue ball's got to be there for the next ball.
So you use a 58-inch piece of wood to hit a cue ball onto another ball into a pocket that's only just big enough to take that ball. Meanwhile, that cue ball has to go around off several cushions around a 12 by 6 foot table and position perfectly for the next ball.
And with a 10mm tip, you got to hit the cue ball where you want to hit it.
Now, all these clueless idiots that think golf's harder than snooker have never played it. They don't know.
I love that you're holding back here.
I'm going to hold back. I can hear Jimmy Bullard now screaming, going, "No, mate, no, there's golf's harder than snooker." Jimmy, I've seen you play snooker. You are useless.
He can hit the ball.
He can hit the ball.
He can hit the ball.
He can hit the ball. Who was the guy you had on your channel who claimed to have had a century? Who was that?
That's Jimmy Bullard.
Jimmy, goodness me.
No, I swear, no. I actually filmed with him as recently as yesterday.
Yeah.
And I reckon he did do it.
Can he count to 100?
You said that, not me. You're not me. We're biased, but I mean, we know how difficult it is.
But we can only count single-player sports in this conversation.
Of course.
In golf, the conditions play a massive part, but they're obvious. The wind, the rate, you can see that. We have all of that to contend with in arenas that obviously not rain.
Yeah.
But the conditions play a massive. They're just not as seen. They're not easy to see. The public can't see it. We know what we're doing. We know what's happening.
Or maybe they should ask all the people that go to the local club and try and put 2 balls in a row.
All civilized people agree.
Yeah.
Snooker is the hardest sport in the world.
Okay, Chinese food is the best takeaway. What's your go? Actually, my go-to for a takeaway at home is probably Indian.
Yeah, so I've got to go disagree. I'm not going to go strongly.
I will do as well.
Yeah.
Because I prefer. I mean, I obviously spend a lot of time in China. I love the food and I love the authentic Chinese food.
It's different.
So
isn't it?
I tend to sort of go to restaurants rather than have takeaway from Chinese. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm going to disagree. Do you like the food in China?
Yeah, I love it. I love how they do that. Like their veg is so nice and fresh, and the meats and stuff. And it is so different. I feel like over here we fry a lot of our stuff, whereas they boil a lot of theirs. Yeah. I think it's definitely a healthier lifestyle, food-wise.
So what would be your go-to takeaway? Indian?
I'm close to an Indian kebab. Right. On Mark Williams with a final kebab. Yeah. Nice chicken shish kebab.
Snooker needs more entertainers.
I'm gonna agree, but just let it be put out there.
You want to be here, so you'd like to be there, wouldn't you?
I'd like to be in this middle ground.
Yeah.
Because I think some of the snooker I played was probably entertaining, but you know there is argument. I know you believe that we are in the entertainment business. I was in the winning business. I was there to win. I wasn't there to entertain, in my opinion. That's what my job was to come here and win the World Championship.
Right.
My job
were absolutely right.
My job wasn't to come here and hope everyone was having a good time. I was just there to collect a trophy.
You were blessed because of the era you played in. There was so little competition for snooker when you played.
Thanks a lot. I don't know where to take that.
Well, I only speak the truth. There was hardly any TV channels when you were playing, so we weren't competing against the world we live in now.
How old do you think I am?
Well, you're considerably older than everyone else in this building. When you turned pro in '86, there was 3 or 4 TV stations.
Right.
So it's a completely different.
Exactly,
it's a different world.
Yeah. Well, you're never going to get Dennis and Steve 18.5 million.
No.
Again.
No.
Watching snooker, it's not going to happen.
A lot of those people were watching because there was nothing else to watch.
Exactly.
It's a completely different. We're now competing against all the other channels, all the other
Dennis,
sports.
sorry about that, by the way. It was great to watch. Just before Dennis gets on the phone, there was nothing else to watch.
You see, I only have strong opinions one way or the other. But no, I don't mean it in an offensive way. The world was different. We now have to compete with everything else that's going on there. That's before you talk about streaming, platform, and all of that other stuff. All the other live sport people can go to. So it's a completely different world now. We have to drag people's attention from all of that.
How are you going to do that?
Make them watch that.
How are you guys going to do it?
The players have to be more entertaining.
Right.
They have to interact more. They have to put on a better show. They have to play better. They have to interact with crowds more. They have to be more active on their social media platforms. They have to do whatever they can to drag people's attention from what they're doing onto this. Yeah. And at the moment, in my opinion, they don't do that quite enough.
I agree. I think the players could do more to certainly. Maybe not at tournaments, because as I said earlier, I'm all about you're there to win and you're there to do a job. And if someone's got a normal job, they're not laughing and joking while they're doing it. They're there to do whatever job they're doing. But Ronnie obviously entertains with his snooker. Yeah. He doesn't, he doesn't laugh and joke. He doesn't interact with the crowd really, but he entertains obviously. So I think it all depends on your character. But I agree that I would say more in promoting the tournaments, stuff like this before every tournament, maybe going to where a venue is a month before and promoting the tournament and doing some local stuff. Yeah, I agree that. But on the table, that's the bit where I find it a bit more difficult.
I think once you get to the table part of it, you should be business head on. I'm here to try and win.
Anyway, next Black Office spot you miss, I'll be pleased to see you interact with the crowd and be all happy when
I shall moonwalk back to my seat.